Welcome, welcome. So, I'm gonna show up all of the new pickups that have been piling up here. They've been getting quite large. Seems okay, it's a bit low, but not bad. Background noise and yeah, it's just to help a little. You know, I can tone up just a little bit more if you think it's still a little low. Now, a little louder. Let me know if that seems too much or now. Each time I wonder how much living space is left in his house with all the games. Ah, there's Carter. I asked him a few times. He never responded to that. So I thought maybe he wandered off, but no, he's still there. Still there. Trolling away in the background. Welcome, everyone. Okay, so as you can see, there's quite a few things, especially the PS4, have kind of categorized things from the systems and boxes and such. So we got a lot of stuff to go through. So, actually, one more thing, real quick. What is this? So I have somewhere to sit them down on the floor. But, I might as well show this off real quick since I'm standing up. So I did get Wing Fit. Some of you obviously have always saw me live stream with that. So just so I can show the big box. No, that was because of a shelf. One shelf. Okay, maybe it wasn't one shelf, but hey, it was an old crappy house that had no maintenance really. So I could make a joke, but it would be mean. But yeah. I'm actually going through trying to reorganize some stuff. So let's get started. So let's show off. Aaron got me the Hero Amiibo of Dragon Quest XI. You know, I would have loved if they actually did the different heroes, because you got the different skins are 11, 3, 1. And I think there was one more hero you could be in Smash. It would have been cool if they made an amiibo for each one, but as far as I know, there's only the Dragon Quest XI hero, which, I mean, he's not bad, but I think, you know, a lot of the Dragon Quest characters, a lot of the Dragon Quest main characters rely a lot on their looks, because they're not usually given a very strong personality outside whatever significance to the story they have, so. And then you might notice this very large image here. It's a mouse pad that Aaron also gave me for Dark Souls. You may recognize the boss and all that. But, anywho. Let's put that down now. So anyway, with those out of the way, everything else is games. Well, there's one DVD, actually. There was, I got this for $5. As far as I know, it's the entirety of Mobile Suit G Gundam. Which I actually like G Gundam. Very nice. So now it should be all nothing but games. Question you should ask. The question you should ask is, how many games does he own multiple copies of? Not a whole lot, but it has happened at times. Like when we went through my DS stuff, all my loose DS cartridges, that's for sure. Pad probably has way more duplicates of stuff than I do, because Pad always says, like, buy them all! Buy them all! That's what people are doing to the PlayStation Volume 1 collection. I posted that in the Discord. Apparently the price is going between $50 to over $100 on that. It's getting quite ridiculous. I think I do have a spare copy of that I bought that I was going to do when I was doing giveaways. I would if I could. Some of us probably would. Okay, so we got a lot of PlayStation 1 stuff and a little less of everything else, so let's try to focus a little on some PlayStation 1. So let's see. I got Saints Row the Third. I don't think I own Saints Row the Second, but I got this for $13 off Walmart. Cheap. You know, cheap is always good. I got for $13 off of Amazon. This is a multiplayer game, if I remember quickly. Yeah, it's up to 4 players, and you're like terraforming a planet, and you gotta like stay connected to oxygen supply and stuff. I watched Striketh play it on PC before. It looked interesting. It was just $13, so I was like, sure. So limited one stuff, Samurai Jack, Battle Through Time. I heard this is actually really good, and the physical is likely going to also be available on Best Buy through limited one. So if you're interested in it, you can probably find it at Best Buy. But I heard this is a pretty good hack and slash. Because the last Samurai Jack game, I think, was on the PS2, I believe, if I remember correctly. So, no limited one. Space Channel 5 VR. I have all the Space Channel 5 games. Very delightful series. First game is really fucking hard. I've never really played the second one yet. I think this just goes over the first game, like, in a story sense, so I don't think it's a new game in its own. But, yeah, I'm excited to hopefully try that one time, you know? I have multiple copies of Skyrim, Dishonored 2, Atticusmj, My Time at Bloodstain, Ritual of Night. Why do you have multiple? How did you get multiple copies of Axiom? Like, it was a retail title, but I mean, let's see. Limited One did a Wii U version, and then PS4, Switch, and Vita were all retail, if I remember correctly. I think. I might not be remembering that all right. I'm pretty sure, though, it was. I think. Find out here. Anyway. Moving on. Death End Request 2. I tried out the first game of this. I'd love to actually go and do a playthrough of it. It's weird pinball mechanics were really weird. Let me get the stream waiter thing here done real quick. Is that getting kind of loud with the music, by the way? It's getting a little loud on my end. As long as it's not overbearing me, it's fine. Just to check. But, I really enjoyed it the first game where I tried a little. Okay. Yeah, because, see, the thing is, my speakers is behind the TV, so it's probably blocking out a lot of the sound going towards the mic, so. Oh, yes! Yes, I forgot about that version from the indie box. A.K.A. the people who stole whatever fucking money they had off you when they shut down. I love... You know, here's something I thought was really fucking stupid with the indie box people. So, like, somebody, like, I follow who does, like, a lot of limited one talk stuff. Like, apparently, Indie Box still actually does stuff. Like, they do, like, little plushies and some discs, but they don't do, like, the limited box stuff anymore. And I was like, I thought those guys sunk under after they stole everyone's money. And he replied to me some, like, sayings like, we gave everyone an option. It's like, you shouldn't have done that. What you should have done is anyone who didn't respond, you gave a fucking refund. Like, well, I mean, giving options is okay, but I mean, if you didn't get, like, anything from someone, you should have refunded their money, not fucking run away with it. Bunch of bull, and he didn't even bother replying back to me. Now, I didn't curse at him, like, I said it in a nice way of that, but you know, that's basically what I meant. That they fucking ran away with it when they should have fucking gave it back to you. If you, like, I mean, emails get lost, don't get sent, bugs and shit happen and that, so. But, yeah, he didn't even reply to me, so I'm like, yeah, that's what I thought. You know, fucking little thievy babies, whatever. You know, support you from, like, your second release on, but, So, Jim Hansen, The Dark Crystal, Age of the Resistance Tactics. So, my understanding, this takes place between the movie and the Netflix special, which, sadly, from what I understood, they only did one season, then they shut down. Nope, puppets cost too much, shut it down! Which is a real shame. My dad loves The Dark Crystal. It had some really, really amazing puppetry. It's a real shame that didn't go anywhere, sadly. I told her to piss off in the... No, I'd have to dig up the tweet, but what I'm saying is, I said, like, you know, they ran off with my money and never gave it back, and he's like, oh, we gave them an option to either claim some other boxes or other stuff on the side or get a full refund. And I'm like, I didn't get any option. You all ran off with my money. You should have returned it if you didn't get any kind of reply. Something along that. Like, I'd have to look it up on what I said exactly, because it was like 2 months ago or something when that happened. But yeah, it does piss me off, because you shouldn't have to fucking ask for a refund. You should be given it. If you're gonna shut down a subscribe system, and, you know, a lot of people still have a lot of money in that fucking system, you should return that fucking money. I don't mind them giving options if people wanted to maybe spend it on other shit and stuff, but if the email got lost or something, they should have fucking just returned your damn money. Like, they ran off with like 80 fucking some dollars for me because I was a subscriber. Of course it pisses me off. Anyway, though. So what is probably going to become the new poop slinger of the PS4, Super Skull Smash Go 2 Turbo. This is a Wet Art release, and Wet Arts did something very weird with this game. So, Wet Arts has a game numbering thing called the 999 games, and this was one of them. Now, they did something they haven't redone since, because they got a lot of shit for this release. But it was only available for 24 hours. So if you didn't buy it, they stopped selling it after 24 hours. So nobody knows how many copies of these actually were bought, or how many are out in the wild. And whatever of those didn't sell are still in Wet Art, because the minimum you can get printed with Sony is 1,000 copies. So there was guaranteedly 1,000 copies of this at least made, but how many of them were bought is unknown. This is apparently all way a really high price on eBay, so I think it's going to be like the poop slinger of Wet Arts titles. Yeah, especially now that there's so many limited... Yeah, there are way too many limited companies at this point. It's getting ridiculous. I've toned down on titles I get from Wet Arts. That and because Wet Arts also does sales, so basically I just wait for sales unless it's like something really good. Like the newest title, Wet Arts actually released it. It was a really good looking, like kind of Contra top-down looking game. It looked really good, and it sold out in one day on it. Like, they have only had like one other title ever sell out in one day. Every other title has lasted months to even years, so it was crazy to see a title of those just sell out one day. So, Warlock Towers. This is a puzzle game. It's simple. I'd say it's a wizardish version of those kind of box pushing kind of games. It was a cheapo that was at Wet Arts. Let's see. Now, this is a European version of this title. I think it is a hack and slash game. I got it for like $12 on Amazon. Oh, I'm waiting for Bloodstained 2 Curse of the Moon as well. Or do you mean the actual Bloodstained 2? You know, that whole thing's gonna get confusing. Like, I don't understand. Are they dropping the original Kickstarter game? Or are they gonna, like, keep two timelines? Because I'm kind of confused on what they're doing on that. I've been spending all my money on that board game. Ouch. Yeah, I don't know if they're going to have like a split timeline, or if they just decide to drop the Kickstarter game story and go with Curse of the Moon storyline. And even if they did that, I don't understand how 2 works with, you know, the samurai guy, considering what happens in the story, but... Well, have fun with that. Then I got Tales of Cold Steel 2. That's 2, right? Yeah. The 2 is really, like, mixed into the background now, but this is currently out of the Cold Steel games in the West, the most expensive one. For some reason, 2 is more expensive than every other entry of Cold Steel in the West. And you might notice it's the PAL version also. Because the Western version was like an extra $40, so I was like, fuck that. Oh, Limited One Games did have an April Fool's game. And it was a real game. But it was an April Fool's game. And that's going to probably be the poop slinger of Limited One Games. Now, last April Fool's, they did a PC physical version of, like, Math Muncher or some educational game. But this year, it was a PS4 game. Now, if anyone's familiar with clicker games, there's these free games, and they're free on PS4. At least I'm pretty sure they're free. But they're mayonnaise-themed clicker games. And it's a collection of all 3 of them. And as far as I know, they're free. They might be like $1 or something, maybe. I thought they were free, but they might have been $1. But they're clicker games. It's a collection of 3 clicker games from this mayonnaise company. And it's a real physical version they're going to make. And it was only available for 24 hours of the day of April Fool's. So it's basically going to be the poop slinger of Limited One's games. One's a skull, one's mayonnaise, and the other one's poop. Will be the new poop slinger of the PlayStation 4. Find out, because I'm sure they're going to milk the PS4 for a few more years. Anyway, moving on. I believe I have all these together. Yes. Yes. Okay, so all these titles... These 4 titles came from a online store called Deep Discounts. Now, the only other time I ever tried to buy something from Deep Discounts, it was canceled. Now, there was one other title, which, it's somewhere, I believe, in this stack, that I ordered with it. That one was canceled, and I got from a different seller. But these were all $3.99 each. So, Jago the Lion's Wage, which I think was originally a PC game. Then Somerset expansion and the Elsewhere expansion for Elder Scrolls Online. Warhammer Chaos Bane. Wage 2. And Wolfenstein Young Blood. All for $3.99, brand new sealed. That's a pretty good deal, especially for the expansions for Elder Scrolls Online. That's, in my opinion, a fantastic price to get those at. I was thinking about the board game April Fool's expansion, but the Limited One Bloodstain, man, the board game is available for all of April and then gone forever. Weird. But yeah, they did a mayonnaise collection thing. It's kind of fucking weird. It's really weird, actually, to be honest, but eh. Okay, that's some PS4 stuff. Let's dabble in some other things. So, let's get this out of the way. Little Town Hero Big Idea Edition. So, I got this from NIS. I know, everyone's probably going to say it now. This game was not well received. It was not reviewed very well. A lot of people thought it was a pretty poor game. And that's probably accurate, to be honest. Ugh. I don't got a good seat here. Kind of leaning forward in my chair here. But, I've heard a lot of it in there. But the thing is, this game is going up in price. Like, I got it for the normal price from NIS. Now, actually, I think it was $5 off because it was during that sale thing they did, I think. There was some other stuff I got from them, too. But, mainly, this game is going up in price. It's getting up there. It's kind of ridiculous considering it wasn't well received. So, I was just like, you know what? I'd just buy it. I'd rather get it and not have to worry about fucking scalping prices, because scalping is getting really ridiculous. Like, I was just looking into Spirit Trackers. I haven't got Spirit Trackers, and somebody might be able to answer this, because I'm looking at this German version of Spirit Trackers, because it's the original DS game, so it doesn't matter what region it's from, but shouldn't the German version have English on it? Because, I mean, it's counted as the PAL version, right? So it should have English on it, because it's, like, $40 cheaper than the American version, which is going for, like, $80. Loose, by the way. Loose. Which is outrageous. I was like, this German one that's $54 with free shipping's looking really good. It's complete in case, too. Of course, it has that hideous giant yellow square on the cover art, though. But yeah, I'm thinking about buying that, because I don't have Spirit Trackers. I never got Spirit Trackers. I do have Phantom Hourglass, though, but I never got Spirit Trackers. Zelda-wise, I believe the only 2 Zelda games I am missing is Spirit Trackers, Minish Cap, and Skyward Sword. That's what it was. I was like, what's the one that we'll be releasing soon? Other than that, I'm pretty sure, and that's not counting the Philips CDI ones. If we're counting those, I don't have Faces of Evil or Zelda's Eventual. Well, now that I can do even better DS capturing, I'll probably look into those at some point. But, yeah, so I'm trying to look into stuff before it gets too ridiculous. I'm looking at so many things, it's getting really fucking weird. Well, yeah, it's going to have... The thing you gotta keep in mind with PAL versions, Dan, is they usually have English, German, French, you know, they cover a broad of languages, usually. Usually, they almost always have English, but there's a few rare cases where they don't. But, you know, because English is a common language still in many PAL territories, English is usually always guaranteed, while other languages are usually kind of iffy, so... It should technically have English. But if it doesn't, then I might as well just get the Japanese version, because it's like $4 for the Japanese version, so... Anyway, let's do some more Switch, because we got quite a few Switch stuff. So, yeah, Minish Cap has became kind of ridiculous. Plus, you gotta keep in mind, fake cartridges. There are lots of them on eBay. It's littered with them. They're mostly cheap, but they're still fake. And then, of course, you'll have those assholes trying to pass them off as authentic. So, honestly, with Minish Cap, I might just get a Japanese version. I might ask Jimmy Hopper to look for one. But yeah, you saw Wing Fit. Doesn't have any nice in-cover art. Bit of a shame. But yeah, Minish Cap's getting hard. Then, of course, when we last did some live streams, the collection from PlayAsia. Remember, there's a small bug in the first game. Little pricey if you get the standard version. Obviously more pricey if you get the big box version. I like them though. If you want it physically, I recommend it though. I like them of that. But yeah, got that. Now here's one I'm actually interested in. This is supposed to be a Metroidvania game. This is from what they call the VGNY. Also, Pixel Heart. Pixel Heart did it in PAL, and the VGNY did the American version. This is supposed to be a Metroidvania, and it has... I don't remember if it advertises it on the back. No, it does not advertise it on the back, but there's a unique DLC for Bloodstain that's also in this. I did get that confirmed to me. I wasn't aware of that when I bought it, and I saw somebody mention it. I was like, oh, really? Is that on the game? And they're like, yep. I don't care for collectors. I just want to play, yeah. Well, Minish Cap is pricey if you're going for the English version. Japanese version of most stuff's cheap. This is just some random game Limited One did. It describes as the World Force Action Arcade Clicker, which I don't know what the fuck that entails. I imagine it's a pretty lighthearted game if it's going to use a clicker type. So, this is a Wet Arts game. This is, I believe, supposed to be like a sci-fi Metroidvania style game. So, this one actually sounded interesting. Like I said, Wet Art Games does have a few interesting games, but they do have a lot more stinkers than interesting ones. Now, here's one that looks very good if you look this up. Gunlord X. Now, this game is still available via the company's site, which I think is just NG Dev, I think. If you look up the title, you should be able to find it. But this is basically Metroid. This is a very Metroid-looking game. So, if you're very interested in that, I would check this game out, or check out some gameplay of it. It looks really good. But yeah, it is a limited title through the publisher maker. So, saw a sealed copy for 80 years ago. Couldn't buy it because I would open it. Yeah, it's tough opening something that's worth a lot of money. Like I said, I got that God Hand game for the PS2 sealed, so I'll be buying the PS3 digital version of that. It's like $6. Because if I open it, it's basically shedding like $80 off its price. It's kind of hard to do. Okay, let's go through some DS stuff here then. So I got a PAL version of Inside Story. It's an original DS game, so it has no trouble on a 3DS. I've never gotten a PAL version of a DS game. It is quite amazing. Look how different the thickness is. It's almost like 2 cases. It's pretty thick compared to ours in the West. They look kind of nice, but they take a lot of space is my problem. I believe Pad and it's on like the tip of my tongue. I never 2 people were saying they liked them, but my issue is just they take up a lot. You know, I have a lot of games, so they take up that much more extra space. Outside of that, they do look nice. I do think they look nice. They definitely give you a lot more space for thick booklets. If you ever seen like a really thick booklet game for the DS on America, like it almost like whips these off. So it looks nice, and it still has a GBA slot too, but my problem's mainly just how thick they are. At least it doesn't have that giant yellow sticker thing on it, though. I hate getting anything with those. They look awful. But got Bowser's Inside Story, Partner in Time. I was actually trying to get the PAL version of this game because we learned through our friend the final boss of this actually got a buff to its health in the American version for some reason. But I couldn't get a PAL version, so I was like, well, I guess fuck it then. Professor Layton, the last Professor Layton game we got, which you play as his daughter. I heard this game was not very well received, so kind of up in the air on that, so it's complete. I got this on an auction on eBay, so pretty good deal. I got it for about $10 less than it goes for. The one that I'm very sad about, I'm sure it's going to break Pad's heart, is the last legit Professor Layton game that actually had Professor Layton. Not counting the Phoenix White crossover, the Legacy one was the last mainline Professor Layton game that didn't start like some spin-off or anything. This game is very expensive for the American or PAL version of this game. It is very expensive. A little cheaper on the PAL version, but being a 3DS, it's not as easy to play, obviously. I got a good, I know, it really does break my heart, but this was like $40, and a cribbed version's almost $100. That's a huge difference in price, man. Like, if it's like $5 or even $10, that's one thing, but we're talking almost like $50 fucking difference, man. It's crazy high for a quibbed version. And besides, I'm getting ready to try make my own custom artwork. You know, because somebody said, you know, you've mentioned a few times you wanted to do artwork for loose games you have. It's like, you know, and you edit these thumbnails. It's like, you ever thought about putting your mascot characters in them? And I'm like, that's a good idea. So, that's something I want to try out. I did get I already own Superstar Saga on the GBA, but I went and got the 3DS version. I got it for a very good price. These are all good prices right now if you want the Mario Luigi games. With the developer shut down, there's probably a little chance of these getting any kind of ports or anything at any time in the future, because they would have to get remade. So, I don't know if we'll ever see new versions of these, what the company did. So, these I would expect to go up in price. But I still need to get the Inside Story version, because they have these side stories. So, what I'm thinking I'm going to do is play the GBA version and just play this for the side story. Or I could play the original version and then after a few years we play this. Those are kind of the two ideas I've had with that. Moving on now. Sealed copy. So, this is a soccer RPG series. PAL had gotten these series because, you know, soccer is really popular everywhere else in the world. So, what are they called? Video Games Plus, I believe they're called. They had a bunch of these on their eBay page for $14, so it's like, you know what? Sure. I've never tried the series. We only got a few of them available digitally. We didn't get a physical copy, so again, it's that thick PAL copy. So, and what's interesting is it has a sticker telling you that the online doesn't work anymore. That was kind of interesting to see. I don't think I saw that on any American games. We got Dream Team, which I got also for a good price. This is like the cheapest. This and the original DS version of Inside Story are like the cheaper entries of this. And then Paper Jam, which is considered the worst entry in the series, even though the 3DS version of Bowser's Inside Story sold the worst, but the original version of it on the DS sold the best. But this is considered the worst entry out of individually, but it's also one of the more expensive entries of it. So, must be a really late release. Maybe. Not really sure. I think it's up to 3 entries, and the third one's on the 3DS, I believe. But yeah, Paper Jam was the second to last out of new entries, but Bowser's Inside 3DS version was the last game they did. But yeah, this is considered the worst fucking entry out of all of them. Dream Team's kind of considered the black sheep entry, which has a, you know, like a underdog fan base of. And Inside Story on the DS is considered the best. But anyway, that's some DS stuff. Let's go through some more PS4. There's still lots of PS4 stuff here. We got lots of PS4 stuff still to go through. I did get Strikers. Let's see, where's Ryuji? Yeah, see, they changed Ryuji because Ryuji gets his face kicked in on the Japanese cover, and they changed that. That was stupid. But, do got Strikers. You can vote for this. I just probably won't play it until at least near the end of the year, because you know how Atlas is with the releases these days. So, this is definitely going to be on the playlist, though, either way at some point. Whether it's by the viewers or by my own choice, so it's going to be on there at some point. Definitely looking forward to it. Kentucky Route Zero TV edition. This was, I believe, from I Am 8-Bit. Yeah, I Am 8-Bit. This is supposed to be some kind of mystery thing. So, it's part of their limited lineup. Another mobile port. I liked that Soup didn't like one. I need to maybe try another one of these. To be fair, they try a lot of different things with their titles, but yeah, that was stupid. Should be Chie King of... Man, you really hate Chie for some reason. I don't think she's that bad. Creature in the Well. This was, I believe, also I am 8-bit. Now, this is a weird game because it's like some kind of dungeon pinball game. Pretty bizarre looking. I definitely look forward to trying it out. It looks interesting. Little Nightmares 2. I'm still wanting to check out the DLC for the original Little Nightmares. This was actually quickly vanishing for a while. I think they got some more stock in, but I kind of panic bought it and used my $5 coupon at GameStop on it. Because, like, just for a while though, the PS4 version just vanished from the face of the planet, and it was always getting cranked up to like 70. I tell you, Scalpers are fucking on the plow right now. Like, they are just sitting there looking at everything during this pandemic. It's quite ridiculous. They are, literally, where did I put my drink though? They are just sitting there fucking maniacally looking for shit to fuck over. I am aware of that title. I do not own it, sadly. But I am familiar with that title. It's something I've been wanting to get. I think it's been going up in price, sadly, though. I'm not sure if it's still affordable. But that is something I've seen before. I Bite the Bullets. This was a strictly limited release, and I think it's like a Contra-style game. It looks like some kind of side-scrolling shoot-'em-up type game. It's one of their releases. Strictly limited games. Has a pretty good track record of pretty good entries. They're at least arcade-ish fun at a minimum. I'd say the worst thing I played for Strictly Limited, if I was going to pick anything, would probably be Sisters Royale. And if you didn't watch my review of Sisters Royale, it was mainly, it's a pretty basic shmup hell bullet game. It's not broken or anything, but it's nothing too special or amazing in my opinion, so... Not only the pandemic, but also the middle of the generation switch. I have it. Cool game. Good-yo. Cool-yo. Well, maybe one day I can get a copy of it, hopefully, maybe someday. I remember I looked up one time, and I couldn't really find, like, a decent listing of it. Or something I didn't mean to look back at. Let's see. Now, here... These two titles I'm pissed about. These were both Limited 1 titles, though. Samurai Showdown 5 Special and Samurai Showdown, that's 4. Was it? No, that's 6. Oh, wait. Yeah, because it's before that. So, well, anyway, the point is, the reason I'm pissed about these is, there was a Samurai Showdown collection disc that came out later after these, and these are on it. So these are individual, and I also have a collector, a disc that has them, plus all the other entries of the mainline series. Like, so these are basically duplicates now, and that pissed a lot of people off. Like, a lot of people are pissed off about these, because it's like, you just fucked over everyone. It really did piss a lot of people off. Because of the cheapest Limited 1 ever does any of their entries on is $29.99. I don't think I've ever seen anything be $19.99 with Limited 1 before. I don't think I've ever seen anything be that. And... more often, they'll at least $39. It's pretty rare to see $29.99 on most of the stuff. So, they charge a decent chunk for some of this shit, So, and if you're trying to keep up with all these things, it sucks when you're in a situation like that. So, I don't know what I'm quite going to do with those. Hopefully, maybe they'll go up in price or something, but probably not. Because that collector's, I keep wanting to say collector's edition, but it's not what I mean. Like, the collection disc, that is available retail over on Amazon and on PlayAsia and that. Like, it has a retail English release in PlayAsia and such, so it's not likely going to run out, so I kind of feel like the value is going, especially since I would imagine most people are going to be trying to get rid of those. So that kind of really sucks. But hey, something down the road might change. Anyway, Five Nights at Freddy's Help Wanted for VR. So, but that was a Best Buy release there, so that was something now. Let's see. That was another one of those mobile games there. That came from Chemico. Let's see. Stranded Sails, Explorers of the Coast Island. This is supposed to be like some kind of little island survival game. I think I got this for like $9 from a seller on Amazon, so it was a bit of a cheap sale. And it's interesting to note the company Mirage here. They actually have a limited company in PAL territories that do big box releases, but they release these titles as standards here in America, so nothing to worry about there. Here's one I was actually happy to get. Walk of Ages 3. Now, I own the PC version of the first game, actually on Steam, and I've never gotten it to actually fucking run, which always pissed me off. Because it looked like such a fun game. But they put the third one on console, so if you never watched this, you basically control a giant boulder, knock shit down and stuff. Fun looking game. Then of course, but again, another title limited one game fucked a lot of people on. They released the Switch version first, and then like 3-4 months later, like, oh, and we're gonna have a PS4 version. It's like, thanks, fuckers. So I have a Switch version of this game that I'll be doing something with. So something. And now we haven't been giving the Vita any love here, so some Vita stuff. I did get another PlayAsia's Asian release. No, I didn't have trouble finding it. It just got on sale. I think I got it for like $15. But yeah, I haven't had trouble finding it. It was on sale. But yeah, I was sad that I never got the first one to work on my PC. Like, that was one of the few times I broke down and bought a fucking Steam version because it's not DRM free. And it didn't even fucking work! Thank you, PC Master Race. Anyway, I think I tried it on this computer and it still didn't work. Probably because it's now too old. It's probably not updated to work on newer PCs. Such a fucking crime. Anyway, Sword Art. This was a Sword Art game I didn't have. This is the Asian English version. There are always still a few more Asian English titles available on PlayAsia. I think Delta is gone now. So if you want Soul Sacrifice Delta, you'll have to get on eBay because I think it's gone. But we'll get those Vita titles, boys. Vita's vanishing. It's poof. And they're gonna almost all be outrageous prices. It's gonna be really fucking weird. Speaking of which, of course, we got some of the PlayAsia's boxes. Now, you may notice the last release I did on this, on the roll, Pichu on the roll. This game, This is probably, like, the only thing, and I said in my review, the only thing that's okay-ish in this game is the two female leads, really. Everything else is very generic and bare minimum. They used free music outside the main theme and that. This game isn't worth getting a physical copy of. What's a Vita? A very nice handheld. It's a very shame that they're gonna shut down. You know, I think it says volumes that they're shutting down the Vita, like shutting down the PlayStation and the PlayStation 3 and PSP stores is one thing, because there's no new releases or anything on those for years. But Vita is a fucking system that still has devs making and releasing games on it. And they just all got told, oh, by the way, fuck you. we're going to shut down the store and you can't make any money now. And they gave them no heads up. They said nothing to devs. All devs who were making Vita games were all caught off guard. So everything they did, if their game's not going to get done in time, and even if it's done in time, it's not going to be available for sale for very long. Like, they fucked over a lot of devs who've been supporting this thing. That was a bad middle finger. But yeah, this is a pachinko game. That's what it is pachinko. Yeah. Come for the ladies, don't buy the physical version. Buy the PC version. Hint, hint, nudge, nudge. Okay, let's get back to some PS4 stuff. There's still lots and lots of PS4 stuff. No Heads IP was scummy. Oh, No Heads Up. Yeah. I think that this says the poor state of what Sony is with fucking people. And the fact that shutting down the PS3, PSP, and Vita is also more... Like, for years I gave them credit for keeping the stores open, available, and still downloading. Now, we'll still be able to download, but with the stores closing down, how much longer are they going to keep them up for downloads? I can't imagine very long. Maybe a year or two to just be very nice. But, yeah. Very concerning in my opinion. Honestly, I, again, won't blame devs for abandoning Sony. Like, I don't really think they deserve a lot of people's fucking affection at this point. Affection. Yeah, they want to sweep the Vita under the rug and make us forget about it. Don't buy the PC version. I'm just saying, if you're gonna buy any version of that, buy the PC version. Exact same price as the digital, and you get a little wink wink more. Wink wink. Anyway, Doom 64 on the PlayStation 4. Now that's fucking weird. I mean, it's not the first time the N64 games got on something else, but it's just really weird seeing 64 on a PlayStation 4 game. But, yeah, Doom 64 on the PlayStation 4. See, The Mummy Demastered. This is supposed to be a Metroidvania game. I believe it is available through the Best Buy titles. Because remember, Limited One works with Best Buy for some of their releases. So, if you're interested in this, I would check that out before it goes bye-bye. But this is a Metroidvania or Metroid-esque type game. One of those two. So, then, here's something I got screwed on. So, one of the few times I purposely bought 2 copies of something. Revenge of the Board King. So, I don't know if anyone's familiar with the drama of this shitstorm. So, Revenge of the Board King. One of the people at Limited One Games made this game. And he did a print one on his own, not associated with Limited One Games. Now, here's the weird thing. So at the time, it's no longer a thing, but at the time, this was not available digitally on PS4. It was only available digitally on Switch. So he said something about, like, there was some problem and they rejected the digital version, even though they made physical versions of it. So this was a weird time. Like, if you don't know the current standard of console, digital, physical, you have to have a digital of a physical title. You can't have a physical only. The only exception to that right now is the Vita. The Vita is doing that with a few of the PlayAsia releases, where they're having a physical only with no digital. But otherwise, for the PS4, Xbox One, and Switch generation, it was a requirement to have a digital with a physical. So this was a weird scenario of a physical only game with no digital equivalent on the console. It was... So, it's a pretty cheap digital game. So, what he did with these physical versions... So, Limited One did this weird pop shop thing in, I think, California for, like, E3 or some shit, where they went into some space and had this pop-up shop to sell a lot of their extra copies of shit. So they made it a interesting selling pitch. Get Revenge of the Board King. Not available digitally on the PS4. Available physically at our pop-up store. This, of course, literally pissed off all the scalpers and big stream collectors and shit. They lost their fucking minds on Twitter. You should have saw it. So many horrible things. Like, people literally going to death threats and shit. Like, it was awful. Like, I can understand being upset, but I mean, like, there were people going way too fucking far. So, the guy said, I still have lots of copies. Because remember, minimum print for Sony, 1,000. You can't go under 1,000. So, there were at least a good handful of these still. So, he said he was going to work out a system to sell these online. Now, this all happened, I think, late 2019, I think. Now, like about a month ago, that solution he decided to do came up. He made a little website, and he announced he was going to sell all the remaining copies of these. And it was a shitstorm. Because in the time between the original sales of these for Limited One games to now, Revenge of the Board King was another poop slinger. There were so few copies in the wild, and they were fucking... So, of course, Scalpers looked at this and be like, ka-ching! Because there was no limit. He put no limit. People told him to put a limit, but there was no limit. And within about 2 minutes, every fucking copy of Revenge of the Board King, cover A and cover B, that were listed separately, vanished from his store. Now, on top of that, he fucked up. Now, I don't know. I'm not trying to say he did this on purpose, but even if he did, he made a buttload of extra money. You could not combine orders. You had to buy every single copy individually. Every single copy you had to buy individually. So, he got a lot of extra money and shit from shipping and stuff. Because people were asking for combined shipping and stuff, and it's just a mess. On top of that, he asked people if they wanted their copies signed, which I asked to get mine signed. As you can see, they are not signed. A bunch of people did not get their copies signed. He did say he would do something to help, and, you know, I never got a reply after that, though, so I'm assuming he just basically didn't care, or maybe he's still working on it, not trying to be mean or anything, but, yeah, the whole thing was a pretty big shitstorm. So, yeah. Now, why do I have 2 copies? Well, hate to say it, but, you know, if it does become valuable, I got a second copy to get rid of. I don't know what the price is sitting at now, since all those copies got flooded into the market, though. Because, of course, there's a chance it'll go down now that they're all out there, so it's hard to say. So, moving on, though. Long story, though. Iron Fury, that was a limited one game. There was some weird drama about it with SJWs. Don't remember. Don't really care. Don't really remember what the drama was. It was some stupid crap. Let's see. This was a Wet Arts game, part of the 999 series. It sold out. Before they did that Skull Crusher game, what they were doing with the 99 series, the 999 series, was they were really hyping it up. And this and one other game called Duck Souls, yes, it's called Duck Souls, by the way, sold out because of it. So, but Skull Crusher, they were doing something different. This is some kind of Metroid-esque game. It looks pretty basic, so probably something you want to do. Now, here's something I bet Dennis will be glad to see I got my hands on. This was on sale on INS with that Little Town, whatever the hell it's called again. This and one other game I got with it. So this was on sale. These are starting to vanish. This was originally a 3DS title. This is a HD remaster, which I do own the 3DS title. I do have that. I do own that. This I'm really excited. I've been waiting for Strictly Limited to do this forever. Guns, Gore, and Cannoli 2. I really liked the first one. This one also has online. Where was it? I thought I had online. Some Tool Chalk. No, maybe it didn't. I thought I saw online on it. Never mind. Well, boo. I thought I saw online on it. Maybe I'm just crazy. By the way, this is a side-scrolling kind of Contra game. Really liked the first one. It was very nice. So I look forward to doing that. This was the game I got canceled on deep discounts. It's a dating visual novel. Got it for $19 from Video Games Plus. Okay, let's go back to some Switch. Well, I got this stack of PS3 stuff I've been ignoring, so maybe get that. Again, looking at games that I haven't gotten, that I've been meaning to get in case of price jacking with a lot, because Scalpers are scavenging older systems right now. So I got Katamari Forever. It was the only Katamari game I did not own, so I got that one for a good price. I think it was like $20. Let's see, this was this is an obsolete game now. So this was a game Pad recommended me to get. He said it was a good beginner's entry. Now, I got it because a lot of them were starting to become pricey and hard to find. And that one actually was one of them. Then I think it was like 2 weeks later they announced an Asian version for the Switch. That's the trilogy of titles of that, all complete on cartridges for the Switch. So I'm like, well, yeah, I know. On the upside now, though, I don't need it anymore. I'll have a cribbed copy. It was $99, but it was 3 games with all the DLC, so can't complain too much on that. But, so that's kind of obsolete now. Hopefully the price stays up and maybe I can trade in for something, make up money, or at least break even. I think I got that one for $29. But yeah, it was going for like around $50 mostly, I think, loose. Yeah, next generation. Sony will play like fuck. They get a lot of support next generation, because if they don't, I'm probably going to end up like getting it like how I did with the Xbox One, where I got incredibly late into its life. I'll probably get one, but it'll probably be way later in its life. So, Tales of Symphonia Chronicles. This was another title. It's still widely available right now. Like, as you can see, it's a sealed copy. So, this is still widely available. But, again, Scalpers are targeting PS3, Wii, Xbox 360 games, along with, obviously, the usual niche Japanese games. So, I have the original Tales of Symphonia on the GameCube, but I never got the sequel on the Wii, so, and this version has all the new content that got added to later versions of Symphonia. So I was like, I might as well get this version. So, got that, so I got an updated version of Tales of Symphonia and the sequel. This one was breaking my heart. So, Downpour was like the last Silent Hill entry that was made. Silent Hill, Downpour, and what was the other one? The one that's a weird alternate take on Silent Hill 1. I can't remember what it was called, but they are tremendously going up in price. Ridiculous. So I got this for a very good price, but people are jacking the later Silent Hill games. Like the one on the Wii, the one, I can't remember what the fuck it's called. It was on the PSP and PS2 also, but the Wii, like all 3 versions of it are going way fucking up. Like, they're becoming ridiculous. Like, it's insane. It's quite fucking ridiculous. I'm not sure if I'm going to be getting a copy of that one so easily. This one was available through Video Games Plus. I actually forgot this game fucking existed, actually. No, not Homecoming. Homecoming's awful. Actually, fun fact, Homecoming never even came out in Japan. It was so fucking awful. They didn't even release it in Japan. No, and that was only on PS3 and 360. This one, the big entry of it was for the Wii, but it was also ported to the PS2 and PSP. It doesn't really deal with monsters and survival much. It's more about the atmosphere. They're all monsters that chase you, but you can't fight them. Shadowed Memories. That's what it was. Shadowed Memories. Yeah, Shadowed Memories is going up in ridiculous price. And what's really creepy is it's not just the Western versions, even the Japanese versions of Shadowed Memories, like the PSP version of Shadowed Memories in Japan is averaging between $60 to $80. The PS2 version is in the hundreds for the Japanese version. It's like, what? It is quite crazy. And Shadowed Memories is a very, very iffy title in the series because it's not part of the mainline series. It's a reimagining of the events of 1, and I mean reimagining, not even remotely close to the source material. So, anyway, yeah, I forgot about Escape. Like, I forgot this game existed. Video Games Plus had it for like $5, new sealed. This was very awfully reviewed. It has a 3D cell shading to it, but I remember this was reviewed very awfully. So, $5, I was like, sure. Because I still haven't played through, what was the sequel? Not 2, because that's still in development hell. I can't remember what the sequel to Dead Island 1 was called. I have it, I just haven't gone around to playing it. But yeah, Dead Island 2 itself has been in development hell for like fucking, like the entirety of the PS4. It's kind of ridiculous at this point now. I'm surprised they haven't just fucking shit-canned it at this point, honestly. So that's PS3 stuff. Can those fit though? No. Getting a tight fit. Well, most of this stuff now is sealed, so I can sit these down here. Because I want space for my boxes and that. I don't want them to be on the floor. But yeah, Shadowed Memories. If you want Downpour or Shadowed Memories, you better look them up. Homecoming, I think, is still worthless. I mean, it's universally hated by everyone. They're like, only the hardcore Silent Hill fans are gonna get that. It's always way too late for the Vita Silent Hill game. What is it, Book of Memories? That game's been fucking a fortune for years now. Like, if you ever want Book of Memories for the Vita, like, good luck. That thing's gone. It's been gone for years. But yeah, the other titles are starting to get up there. So if you want them, you better get them, because they're probably never gonna get fucking ported anytime soon. Because, well, Konami hasn't really been doing anything. So anyway, it's been a while. So we still got big stack of Switch stuff, so I want to save those for a second. See, Holy Potatoes Compendium. This is 3 games. They're indie games. From what I can tell, they're like simulating games. One, you make a weapon shop. One, you go in space, and the other one's called What the Hell? Cook Up Incredible Recipes. Yeah. So, this was, I think, $29.99 on Limited One Games. It's that one was a pretty good price one, I believe. Cthulhu Saves Christmas. So, if you're familiar with the people who made Cthulhu Saves the World and, Breath of Death 7? This is another entry from that guy, Cthulhu Saves Christmas. I think it's only like 5 or 4 hours long. It's a short JRPG style game. But it's Western dev, so it's not an actual JRPG, but, you know, homage to it. But, I've played some of both Breath of Death 7 and the original Cthulhu Saves the World, which I'm still patiently waiting for him to do a collection on that or something. I know it's going to happen, it's just when. But, this was the first PS5 title Limited One Games did. Now, obviously, I have no PS5, and I have very little incentive of getting one anytime soon, so I went with the Switch version on this one, which is a pretty rare case on that, honestly. But, yeah, this guy makes very humorous games. Check him out at the, Zoiboy Games. You know, Very humorous stuff. Recommend. Let's see. Now here's the, I think this was the last game I got out of that NIS sale. This was like, I think 15. Holy Potatoes seems like a clickle game at its core. Kind of blah from what I've seen. Oh, you're familiar with that, huh? I wasn't familiar with it. It's really hard to be familiar with all these fucking random indie games that... But I am starting to... Like, you gotta keep in mind a lot of these limited one games are like shit I had pre-ordered for like a year to a half. But at this point, I'm starting to tighten up on what I buy from some of these. I'm probably going to still buy most of the limited one stuff. But, like, Red Arts I'm being more picky with. Mirage, because all their titles come to us basically as standards anyway. I haven't really messed with those much. Oh, sorry, I didn't mean to hit that. Bumped it with my foot. Let's see. What are those? There's one other company I'm being a little more iffy with. I passed on 2 games from Game Fairy with Dreamcast games. Let's see, because one of them you need the keyboard. It's an interesting idea, but I'm like, I'll likely never play that. I don't have Dreamcast keyboard, and it's it's just not. It's somebody who did a. I'm not sure what the proper term for it would be. Like, they didn't like hack it, but it's not a official released game for it. That would tell you how. Yeah, if Total Biscuit talked about it, it's a pretty fucking old game. Then it must be at least for PC wise. Total Biscuit, like, he passed away before the Nintendo Switch even came out. Actually, when I think about it. But Neo well, this is apparently a sequel to a Super Nintendo title in Japan. Graphically, it has kind of a really strange art style, but when I looked up the gameplay, it's pretty interesting looking, if you like an explorative game. So, we only got the Switch version in America, though apparently it was also on PS4 in Japan. If you want this game right now, I think PlayAsia is selling it for like $12.99, the English ESRB weighted version. So, if you're interested in it, you might want to take a look at that. But, I hear it's a pretty lengthy game, though, so it probably gets kind of old. Let's see. I couldn't remember I showed this off the last time. I think I did, but just in case, we did try this on a random stream. I think it's originally a mobile game. Graphically, it looked really bad. It left a very bad first impression, unlike Witch Spring, which left a very good impression. Well, this did not leave a good first impression. But we did try that on a random thing. Let's see. And of course, we have some super whale games. Yeah. They tried some different packing here. Yeah, nothing else in there, right? Yeah. So let's see, we got Project Warlock, which Limited One Games actually just did a PS4 version pre-order for this. Or was it limited? I can't remember if it was limited to like 1,500 copies or pre-order, but it's some kind of Doom first-person game from what I looked at. So, but this got available from Super Whale Games before that was announced, or I would have went with PS4 version, but wasn't obviously special enough for me to rebuy. Like, Blittigan, like, I loved the original game of Blittigan on PS1. So, I wanted that on PS4 because I wanted to have the trophies as an excuse to maybe get some playtime out of it. But that, yeah, not, like, too crazy. Lonely Mountains Downhill. Oh, let me get that started real quick. Yoink. So, Lonely Mountains Downhill. From what I understand, this is one of those kind of physics-based games. You go down a hill and do, silly, wacky shit, stuff like that. From what I saw clip-wise. Now, I still get the 3 bundle thing, so I try to do that because it saves on shipping. Because shipping has gone way too fucking ridiculous when you're getting shit. Like, Pad says, you know, shipping's really bad in his area. I'd have to ask, where is it now? Because it's horrible to get stuff outside America right now. Like, PlayAsia's right now at, like, fucking $12 shipping right now. That's pretty high. But, yeah, so I've been getting the bundles again from Super... Most of the time I get the bundles, but there's a few times I've skipped on the bundles because of stuff like this. Because there's a few other games. This ain't the first time Super Whale Games did something that Limited One Games did a PS4 version later. Yeah, I would imagine. Like, I hear Europe and the whole Brexit thing is making pricing like a fucking nightmare right now, so... And then the last out of this 3 bundle, this one, Ita, I don't know anything about it. But graphically, it looks interesting, and that top screenshot looks like it's like some kind of weird shmup kind of thing. So, not really familiar with the game. Looks interesting, though. So, I always like trying to support indies, because indies are the only ones that really do a lot of creative things anymore most of the time nowadays. Anyway, we'll get the next map going here. Woo. A lot of mobs though. Go. Come on. Big tank though. And I just got a 25 package from Europe. Let me re-illustrate. I'm talking about getting stuff outside of America. PAL, Japan, any other country. Within America, shipping is still alright. It's mostly remained pretty normal inside America. Outside of America is a fucking mess. So, just to re-illustrate. Not from the US? Well, you got lucky then. Because some people, like, there's some people in PAL territories paying, like, there's this very, I know, I'm just, okay. But there's this one vocal guy in PlayAsia's Discord, and he badmouths all this shit they've been doing lately with their Vita releases. But he says when he orders something lately, it's like $20 to $30 shipping. I don't remember where he lives, but like, fuck. Oh, from the US. Okay. I thought you mistyped. Okay, so... See, I'm not very keen on indies most times, seeing too much tendency. Now, admittedly, yes, indies do have a lot of crap, too. They'll, when the indie boom happened, that, like, you could see it through many of the titles that Red Arts does. Admittedly, yes, there are a lot of crappy indie games, too. But, you know, a lot of the big boys, like, the way I see it is, it's pretty rare for the big boys to really experiment very much. A lot of them very rarely do it once in a while. The indie market usually likes to experiment a lot. Now, when the indie boom happened, you know, there was a lot of good games. But over time, you know, as things became more easier and easier to be able to make a game, you know, people just pop in Unity and throw something out. And I wouldn't necessarily, like, when we're talking about, like, really bad game, well, like, Unity flip games that, like, Total Biscuits and Jim Sterling would talk about, where they, like, stole assets or really cheap assets and made a broken game, I wouldn't really... I mean, technically they would be indie games by definition, but I wouldn't really label those as indie games, because they're just deliberate garbage being put out there to try and get someone to buy them on a sale or something. But yeah, I admit it can be hard to find good indie games, but there are still good ones out there in my opinion. But I can understand being tricky though. Washing Dishes, the exciting indie RPG for PS4 and PC limited edition. Give them time, it'll be one of the April Fool's jokes. I'm sure I Am Bread will be next year's, probably. Let's see. We got Hades for the Switch. Then, one of PlayAsia's, PlayAsia's been trying standards, having a standard and, the big box, so I've been getting mostly the standards when available. If My Heart Had Wings. This is a visual novel. I'm not familiar with it, but it wasn't a horrible price. I think it was either $29 or $39, so that's okay. Tiny Middle. Now, this is actually from, if I remember correctly, it was made... Does it not have their logo anywhere? Come on, I'm pretty sure it was made by... Yeah, I don't see it, but I'm pretty sure that Game Freak had to do with this game, if I remember correctly. Maybe I'm misremembering, maybe I'm thinking of some other game, but I'm pretty sure Game Freak had something to do with this game, if I remember correctly. But this is a tactics game. I think it's available on Best Buy now if you want it. I was very excited when I saw it announced as an indie title on Twitter long ago. So it's very exciting to actually get this one physically. It's actually something I'm familiar with. Speaking of something I'm familiar with, Advanced Wars clone. Well, yeah. Tactics. Still tactics. But yeah, it's in... When you're, like, boiling down the kind of tactics, yeah, it's like Advanced Wars. It's not tactics in the sense of, like, Ogre Battle, Final Fantasy tactics. But tactics nonetheless. Anyway, so, if I remember correctly, this bottom one is the one that's on the Vita. But you get both of these games on the Switch. But... obviously, I pre-ordered this for this because I was concerned whether this would sell out fast. But yeah, this is available on the Vita. I have the Vita version. I don't know if there's any big differences because you see, it's called Revisited. So I don't know if there's any differences between it in the Vita version. So, but yeah, it's first-person dungeon crawling. I always like a first-person dungeon crawling, even though I don't get to play it very often anymore. It only makes me want to cry in my heart and soul. Cry in my heart and soul. Ugh. Ugh, Lord. Oh dear, we're over an hour. Uh-oh. Oh, some reason we dropped to... Uh-oh, what got going on here? No internet access? What? Oh no. Oh no! Something's happening with the internet. I'm not even done. I got my phone on me. Crap. I don't know what I did with my phone. Oh dear. I don't know what happened. Wait a second, Neil. Oh no. Internet access gone by. Yeah, for some reason all the internet fucking dropped. It's all gone. Whip. That sucks. Well, I guess we'll save the rest of these games here for next time. Actually, let me show this one off because I'm actually playing it now so I don't forget about Citizens Unite, Earth of Space, very excited entry that I'm very excited to get to play as soon as all this overtime ends. So, sorry about the sad ending. So I guess we'll save the West Indies. I want to show off that these can all wait until next time. So, all right. So I'm gonna save the West Indies for next time. So at least I cut down what I had here. So I don't know what happened to them. It gone. So it went poof like 100%. So thank you for joining and watching, everyone. Sorry about that.